What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 37 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, man?
We had Players Cup stuff happen, not this weekend, but like the weekend before somewhere.
Yes.
It was a little bit ago.
The weekend of the 2nd?
Something like that.
3rd? I don't know, man. The first weekend, the 7th.
Yeah, which...
Yeah, there we go.
After this one, it had been a weekend after that, so...
Yeah, so this is the 7th. We're recording on the 12th, going up on the 16th, so... Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit ago. But we've got the top 16 from each region.
So, just gonna kind of fire through these and talk through them and...
More just look at numbers of Pokemon in each region and kind of like look at and see just like what's good, what's not good, what's just popular to certain places, because each set of players has their own like things they like, as we will see when we get to Latin America. Oh, buddy.
So I haven't looked at these. Basically walked in today. We had no idea what was going on. And you're like, well, I'm sure there's something we can talk about.
Players Cup.
And so here we are. So I knew these were up. I couldn't remember where they were. And after digging on Twitter, Carl found them. So here we go.
Yep.
So first up here we have the EU. And what do we want to start with?
Let's start with losers.
Cool.
Losers is easier to go through because we can just kind of like look at it and we don't have to like overanalyze why they probably went down, because the winners are somehow the winners are always strictly better.
Well,
I like that the first winner and the first loser are the same.
Yep, exact same team.
I like that a lot.
Eliki, Fini, that's Dark Urshifu.
Yep, that's Max. That's a single strike.
Ensign, Glastrier, and Dusclops. Pretty standard. The Urshifu's like the one thing that's just like, that's not widely played, but you know.
I know what Urshifu's for.
Oh yeah, Urshifu's amazing.
Urshifu is for specifically Oko and Glastriers after they're out of Dynamax.
Oh, I was gonna say it. The Wicked Blow. I believe you need a like attack boosting or a damage increasing item, but it can Oko max defense Dusclops as well.
I know close combat from Urshifu can Oko most last year's sets right now.
Is that standard or is that like banned Life Orb? Do you know
that the one that did it to me was Pokesash.
Oh.
So yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I found that out the hard way. The next up losers here is like a blast from the past from Players Cup 1. It's just like, here's Colossal and friends, but now we get to add Lando instead of Incineroar.
This is really similar to the on the right hand side of the winners column, the fourth team there.
Yep, the other Colossal team.
Dragapult, Cole. And Rillaboom is like that central duo or trio, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we have on the loser side we have Lando, Azumarill, and Goth. And on the winner side we have
Urshifu, Female Indeedee, and Celesteela.
I actually really like Azumarill here as well. In particular, just because it is another way to trigger Colossal if we need to go all in on it. I also really like the addition of Gothitelle to just trap them in and say, all right, you had to deal with this.
Yeah, you're stuck. I hope you led for this one specifically.
Because he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. I like this a lot. I still think Colossal is like good. It's just harder to be good with Landers on the battlefield all the time, I think.
I agree.
Especially since I know Landers can, in certain situations, outspeed your Dragapult.
Choice Scarf max speed. I don't remember if you need to be max speed, but I know Choice Scarf gets to 214.
Yeah.
So that's that magical number that you need to beat Dragapult with.
Yep.
Which is interesting. Ro and I were talking today. He was working on stuff for Draft League. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to do Hail plus Slush Rush user this week because he's playing against Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, Arctovish gets Crunch. He's like, yeah, but it's too slow. He's like, I might do iron ball things. I'm like, I don't think you understand. You can get to 214 and outpace Dragapult without being max speed. He's like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
we might need to go grind for an ability patch for that one.
The next up losers here is Regieleki, Feeny, Moltres, Incineroar, Mamoswine. Yes, more Mamoswine, and Kartana.
Mamoswine is one that I've been kind of high on at the beginning of this format, and no one else really did anything with it, and so I'm glad to see it actually putting up results here.
Yeah, Mamoswine being able to deal with most of the format right now is really good, plus being immune to Intimidate with Oblivious as its ability.
The downside to it is it's weak to Feeny. It gets hit super effectively by all the muddy waters running around, which is kind of not great, but
that's why we have Regieleki.
Yeah. You can also, like, I've seen Assault Vest, I've seen Life Orb.
My favorite is Choice Band.
Good lord. Just hit them.
Yeah, hit them.
And, I mean, granted, like, if you're Life Orb or Assault Vest, you're more likely to Dynamax than compared to Band, but...
I feel like this team, you'd want it to be like Life Orb, probably, because the rest of your team doesn't really like Dynamax outside of Moltres and Feeny.
It's probably Life Orb with Assault Vest on Kartana.
Yeah, because you want Vest on Kartana there. Regieleki's probably just support screens, Incineroar is Incineroar. And then Moltres is Citrus Berry probably on this team because we don't have a good way. Like, Ice Shard from Mamo can do it, but that's going to hurt.
That's going to hurt, yeah.
Like, no matter what, even if it's like just regular Mamoswine with no item boosts and Assault Vest, it still hits like a truck. Next up here, we have Cantonian Zapdos, Primarina, Glastrier, Ferrothorn, Amoonguss, and Dusclops. This is a
Series 6 team slapping on... a Series 5 team?
Yeah.
6?
5. I would call it a Series 5.
Dusclops was legal in 6.
Yeah, but...
Amoonguss was legal in both?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I literally have no idea what was even banned anymore because that was like 4 months ago.
That was so long time ago.
That seems like forever ago. It's just like, I actually don't even remember what was banned. I forget who I was talking to. I think it was Penguin. He was working on stuff for Draft League 2. And he was talking about setting Trick Room with Mimikyu. I'm like, I completely forgot that was in the game. Because it has been so long since I've even seen a Mimikyu.
Right? You just don't see them.
Well, not only that, but like, even in Series 5, before it got banned, it was just like, it wasn't popular enough in doubles.
Nope.
So, when it got banned, it was that singles ban, so...
I like the Cantonian Zapdos. I like that. That's about it.
This team's real weird.
It's like the only thing I like. It's like you have Glastrier, Dusclops, which pair together. It's like, okay. And you have Amoonguss to set your Trick Room. But then it's just like you have Ferrothorn and Primarina. There are much better options right now than Ferrothorn and Primarina.
So their fast mode, I guess, is like Zapdos Primarina.
I don't even think you have a fast mode in this team.
I mean, that's like Tailwind on 1 into fast Primarina. Which
Zapdos doesn't get Tailwind.
Oh my lord, I forgot that. This is way more awkward.
Zapdos is just there to like beat up bulky water types, I guess. I don't know.
I was going to say it's a Snarl thing because, that's what the Dark type gets to do, but it doesn't even get that.
Nope. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what this team's
I actually
doing.
have no idea what the Zapdos is doing here.
I like it. I just don't know what it's doing.
It's weird.
Next up, Feeny, Heatran, Rillaboom, Tyranitar, Cresselia, and Amoonguss.
It's really got nothing to say.
It's like tanky mid-range.
Yeah, I mean...
All of these Pokemon are bulky.
It gets to pivot as needed, but you don't really have the offensive power to go absurdly fast like you would want to in some matchups. So I guess in those matchups you're just pulling back and trying to go as slow as possible.
Like, notably, you can like set Trick Room against the fast Pokemon and then like reverse Trick Room against the slow Pokemon.
Yeah.
So you get to...
You need Crest to stay healthy.
Which, that's not hard.
Yeah, between grassy terrain and...
Pollen Puff.
And Rage Powder so it can avoid hits, too.
Mm-hmm. It's not hard to keep Crest healthy there.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Plus Heatran, Feeny, and Rillaboom all still hit like trucks.
Yep.
Plus they make that really good just fire water grass core.
Agreed.
Next up, Lando, Entei, Metagross, Rotom Wash, G-Max Grimmsnarl.
I wonder if it's actually G-Max or if they just slapped the first one that pops up.
It might be that, because the other Grimmsnarl is that way too. But notably, you could just like G-Max snooze people.
Yeah, probably not. It's definitely most likely here just for
Screens.
Yeah, that's primarily Grimmsnarl's duty right now is set screens faster than Eliki can.
Yeah. And Amoonguss. Amoonguss rounds out the team here.
Yep.
This team seems fine. I'm assuming Entei's like our policy procker for our weakness policy Metagross probably.
I know it gets Eruption and Bulldoze. Eruption hits your partner? It hits everything? No.
No,
it's the fire type water spout.
You want Lava Plume.
Yeah, there we go, that one. It gets that one too. Which notably is also special attacking, so like it can hit on its worst attacking stat, but like Metagross is also more physically defensive than especially defensive.
Yeah.
So like sure you're hitting it with the worst stat, but you're also hitting the worst stat, so it's probably just Bulldoze.
Yeah, like Bulldoze is better anyway because it lowers your opponent's speeds, all your Pokemon that are hit by the Bulldoze, meaning Metagross gets to go faster, hopefully, maybe. But yeah. Next up, Moltres, Volcarona. That's Pokemon.
That's a Mon.
Rillaboom, Water Urshifu.
That's a Mon.
And then Glastier and Stakataka.
This is weird. I don't know what we're doing with Volcarona.
Rage Powder. It's literally it.
Yeah,
Rage Powder to take the first one so you can set up your Trick Room and then let Volcarona just either go down or hit a move or do something.
Yeah, but once Trick Room's up, like, it's just a liability. So I think I'd rather just have a Amoonguss. I guess you outpace Metagross so you can actually, like, deal pretty decent damage to it.
Yeah.
But, like, you're terrified by Feeny or anything with a priority move.
Yeah. I'm not sure why Waterfoo.
Fire, Water, Grass Core. That's the best I got. That's the best I got, man.
I think I'd rather have Tapu Fini over Waterfoo. I'm just not impressed with
Waterfoo hits Glastrier harder.
Like, yeah.
That I mean, it kind of does what Dark Urshifu does. Just
you also have Stakataka to just blow up Glastiers.
You also have Stakataka to deal with opposing like terrain as well.
Mm-hmm. Being able to Steel Roller is really good.
Which, like, Stakataka also makes me want to have Feeny so I can just Steel Roller as I need to.
Yeah, just like you switch your Feeny in and then you Steel Roller and just pop them.
Yeah, I don't hate that idea. Like, I definitely like the idea of Dark Urshifu more in this format just because it can also deal with Dusclops and Crest and P2
and Dragapult and Ghost types and anything that's just weak to Urshifu Dark.
Yep. Whereas, like, the physical water outlet isn't really important.
No. Like, you have Gyarados and you have Waterfoo, and that's about really it for physical waters.
Yeah, but how often on Gyarados are you clicking, like, Waterfall compared to just overrunning them with whatever actually hits them super effectively? Because, I mean, that's one of the great things about...
I mean, Waterfall Rain Boosted, if you don't have a super effective move, is really, really good.
True.
Last team here is Sunroom, but we're swapping Glastier for Stakataka to counter opposing Glastiers. Also, just is another Trick Room setter.
Yep.
Pretty standard. Winner's bracket, which we talked about the first team, it's the same as the other team on the other side. The next team is what piqued my interest here. Gigantamax Snorlax.
Love it when it changes thing.
Male DD, G-Max Snorlax, Amoonguss, Grimmsnarl, Rotom Wash, and Landorus. I kind of wish we had a better way to beat fighting types besides just like fly from Landorus and like.
What do you mean? You don't need an answer. You have Snorlax. It runs them over.
I don't know. Urshifu's pretty strong. If it can Oko the Glaciers, I'm pretty sure it can Oko a Snorlax.
Probably.
Like it's kind of
granted. Like you do have Indeedee to set Trick Room. You do have Amoonguss to be able to redirect the hits. So like there are things you can do.
It, yeah.
Indeedee also notably hits the fighting types effectively outside of like specifically Dark Urshifu, which is probably the most popular fighting type.
Yep.
I'm actually interested in that statistic just to see. Can I do that on Pikalytics? I'm pretty sure I can.
You just look for the most popular fighting type. I'm gonna move on here.
Yeah, you do your thing.
The next team, I want to bet dollars to pesos that this Landorus is Sand Force.
Does it get Sand Force?
Mm-hmm. Incarnate is Sand Force or Sheer Force.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm fact checking you because I actually don't know the answer.
That's fine.
I actually don't know. Lando.
The rest of the team is
what?
Tyranitar, Sandrush Dracovish, Rotom Heat, and Ferrothorn.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, this is a Sand Force Landorus most likely. Could be Sheer Force, but I would expect it to be Sand Force so you can just be another physical threat.
I actually really like the idea of this team. If there was a rental code for this, I would play this.
I'm not sure any of the top 16 have their rental codes out. Even though it was open team sheet, you still don't know the EVs and stuff, so it's just like...
You say that, but
they probably want to keep it to their...
There's a very specific team that is on here that we will talk about later that a lot of people have been playing with.
Yeah. We talked about a little bit about this other Colossal team here. Celesteela, I want to touch on just a minute. I think Celesteela is slept on. I think it's probably one of the better shield types of the format right now. Just because it has the weirdest coverage moves, to one.
Mm-hmm.
Also can be a better Ferrothorn with Leech Seed and Iron Defense and whatnot. I don't think they gave it Body Press, thankfully.
Yep, that is one. I know it gets Heavy Slam. I don't think it gets Body Press.
Thank God.
Oh, Billy, can you imagine?
It'd be busted if it got body press. It was you just hit a +1. You just go to +1 or +2 on your defense, and then you beast boost again, and beast boost again, and beast boost again.
I typed in body and I see an 85 power, 100 accuracy move. I'm just like, no, it's Body Slam.
Yeah. Okay. But I think Celesteela is super slept on. I think it's really strong.
Agreed.
Next team here. How familiar are you with physical Thundurus?
Not very. I know it's really popular, and I know it gets Brutal Swing, and that's about all I know about it.
Right now, they are doing Electric Move, which I'm assuming it's physical Defiant Life Orb Thundurus is the thing, and you just Dynamax it on turn 1 and just try to blow people up.
Yep, because people anticipate prankster tailwind things, and you're like, nah.
Slap. So I think
you're like, hey, thanks for ignoring this slot.
I think Defiant is currently the more popular set right now. It's scary too. Just like it has 2 weaknesses in Ice and Rock.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like really hard to hit super effectively, and you just go bulk and attack, and you don't really need to be fast.
Why does it get Smart Strike?
I don't know. It's got a horn on its head.
It gets Iron Tail. It gets Smart Strike. Physical moves, it gets, like, electric moves, it gets Thunder Punch and Wild Charge, both of which are good.
I've been seeing Giga Impact, Wild Charge, Fly, and Protect.
Is Fly the best physical flying? It's actually the only physical flying move it gets. Awkward.
Yeah.
It's not
That's why you
bad.
Dynamax it, because Fly kind of sucks, so you just go max. You just want it for max Airstream.
It's not bad, but...
The rest of the team here is Feeny, and then Trick Room with Porygon 2, Torkoal, Venusaur, Glacier.
Yeah, it has Sunroom.
You take Sunrooms for popular things, swap Dusclops out for P2, and then slap on Feeny and Thundurus, and you got the team right
here.
Yeah,
it seems actually really good.
I like it. I like that one a lot.
Notably, like, they want to come in and intimidate your Glastrier. They also want to come in and burn things, but they can't because of Feeny. They can't intimidate you because of Defiant Thundurus. Like, that seems powerful.
Yeah. The next team is we already talked about because it's the same as the top two.
Cool. Good talk.
The next one is our first Nihilego as well.
First of many for some reason.
First of many coming up. I believe I counted 8 throughout all of the top 16s, which is a lot. It's 64 teams, and an eighth of the Pokemon on them are Nihilego.
Yeah.
Something like that. Math checks out somehow. Landorus, Feeny, Metagross, Rotom Heat, and Amoonguss to power up with this Nihilego. Power Herb is popular because it gets Meteor Beam.
Yep, Power Herb, Meteor Beam's really powerful. I believe it gets Sludge Wave, so you can pair it next to Metagross and just spam. It also just wrecks through all the Tapus. Thanks to, you just get one, you go +1 off of Meteor Beam, and then you can Dynamax it and max Ooze, and then you're at +2, potentially get a Beast Boost, and you're at +3, and then from there it just snowballs. That's the idea behind it.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to Ro about this, because this is kind of what he wants to do between Nihilego and Rotom Heat. And I'm like, okay, is there some, obvious synergy I'm missing here? He's like, no, they just, hit everything in the metagame.
They just hit everything. Rotom Heat actually hits everything.
He's like, between what Nihilego doesn't hit, Rotom does.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems real good.
Yep,
so
and it won't be the last to hear a Rotom Heat either. There's so many Rotom Heats. And the last one here is another physical Thundurus, most likely.
Man, you want to talk about a physical team. This team hates Intimidate, man.
Yeah, thankfully we have Clear Body Metagross.
And we have Defiant Thundurus, too. So.
Yep, so with those two, we also have Rillaboom, Incineroar, Water Urshifu again, and P2.
I wouldn't be... you could tell me that this is Prankster on Thundurus, and I would not be surprised. Yeah. But based on the outlook of the rest of the team, it makes sense it's also Defiant to prey off of...
everyone wanting to intimidate your team.
Yeah, but at the same time, Prankster also means that, you get to go fast when you need to.
Yeah.
And, when you need to go slow, you also have your P2, and it's those are your two primary things. And then you also have Brutal Swing on this, so you can trigger your policy on Metagross. So, the lead here, you can just do, Metagross and Thundurus and end up Dynamaxing your Thundurus instead because people are anticipating the Metagross to go big. And then you can just sit there and spam Earthquakes next to your Dynamax Max Airstream machine. And that just is fine.
Yeah. You ready to move on to a new region?
Yeah, so that was EU. What else we got?
This is Oceania.
Okay.
So, again, we'll start with the loser's bracket. This has your favorite Pokemon.
Stoutland.
Yep.
I was going to say Blaziken, but that's not a Blaziken.
No.
I actually really do love Stoutland. When I first wanted to get into competitive Pokemon, I'm just like, all right, cool. I don't know anything about this, but this is Gen 5, so I've read that weather's really good, so I'm going to play Sandrush Stoutland. And it was not very good.
Notably, this is probably also a Sandrush Stoutland because we have this Regirock to pair with it. We also have a Metagross, a Gigantamax Lapras, a Latios, which is something you don't see very often.
This is the more offensive one?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Moltres.
Do we have a way to trigger policy on Moltres here?
Not on Moltres. Not unless you want to do Ice Shard things with Lapras.
Which, that is a possibility.
It's much better than Mamoswine hitting you.
That's not... Yeah. Does Stoutland get Bulldoze?
I'm not sure.
Can we Bulldoze Metagross?
We might be able to. Between it and maybe Regirock. Does Regirock get Bulldoze?
To the internet.
I believe Stoutland would get it before Regirock would, but I'm not sure. Latios might get it. Latios got a bunch of weird moves. There's a bunch of weird moves on those. I like Lapras. I like Lapras a lot in Series 7 just because it's just
Lapras does?
Yeah, there we go.
Why? I don't know.
I don't know.
Lapras gets Bulldoze.
I like Lapras a lot. Just because it's just bulky water type that incidentally hits Rillaboom really hard. It hits Landorus really hard, both with water and ice. Stab.
Latios does.
Aha.
Regirock.
Regirock gets it too? Damn.
Well, that's...
This could be weakness policy, Regirock. Does Latios get Trick Room like Latias does?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's a Psychic type.
I'm assuming it does, because Latios got it, so I'm assuming Latios gets it too.
If I could find it, where'd it go? Alright, fine, be that way. Let me just type it in.
While you're doing that, I'm going to move on to the next one down. The next team here is...
It gets Trick, but not Trick Room.
Okay, so Latias is the...
Weird.
Interesting.
That's actually really surprising. It seems like the thing to do is just, oh, you're a Psychic type. Here.
Yeah, it's...
You deserve this now.
You get Trick Room. It's just like how that works. But I guess it doesn't. Next team here is Dusclops, Tapu Fini, Glacier, Female Indeedee, Stakataka, and Torkoal. This is Trick Room if I've just...
This is told me very hard Trick Room.
Like, here's all of these Trick Room mons, and we have Tapu Fini to keep from being burnt.
Yeah, that seems fine.
That's it.
Yep, that's the team.
That's the team.
That's the team. Slap it on, go.
Yep. The next one is like, I want to play with all the genies, so let's do that.
I was looking at the next one. I'm like, Carl, Urshifu's not a genie.
Nope, you skipped one. Landorus Therian, Thundurus Incarnate, Tornadus Incarnate, Kartana, Incineroar, and Tapu Fini. So I know which ones are Tailwind Center, and I know which ones are physical output damage.
Tornadus is the Tailwinder.
Yep.
Thundurus is the Defiant Abuser.
Mm-hmm.
And Landorus is the Intimidator. Did I nail it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Good job. We also just have Intimidate on Incineroar, so we just get to keep cycling Landorus and Incineroar against Glacier.
Not only they both also get U-turn.
Yeah,
so
they both get to just keep looping, which is great.
Just chip away, get back in, do an Intimidate, chip away, do your thing. Notably, also Incineroar gets Fake Out, gets Will-O-Wisp, which is... Will-O-Wisp is really good right now in the format.
Yeah, that's why you see Tapu Fini everywhere.
You got to be able to play around Fini. And that's literally what it comes down to. If you can play around Fini, Burn is the best status condition right now in the game.
Yeah.
Sleep is really good, but I feel like there's way too much Fini going around, and there's way too much, past that, electric moves are still kind of widely played.
Yeah.
So being able to set electric terrain is still just good.
Yeah.
So that's why Amoonguss is... It's weird to say Amoonguss has fallen out of favor when we just talked about it 7 times in the last 16.
Whatever. Which that's what one of the big things I was wanting to talk about is just
because
what regions play what, because we only have 2 Amoonguss here where we saw 8 in Europe. So it's just
yeah, it's crazy. And it could just be that, enough of it, if you play enough of it, it's going to top 8.
Yeah.
Or top 16, or make top cut, or however you want to think about it.
Yeah. Next team is Weird Trick Room with Urshifu, Nihilego, and Thundurus Incarnate as our just fast mode.
Yeah, seems fine. Being able to set Tailwind to have a fast Glacier doesn't seem awful. Notably, this is Thundurus, so you're not weak to electric, so the Lightning Rod from Marowak doesn't actually accomplish anything, so that means this is going to be Rockhead.
Okay, it's probably going to be Rockhead, because we don't really need the Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod is cool, but it
doesn't do anything here.
Yeah.
Here particularly.
It eats away our own Thundurus attacks.
Yeah, which we don't want to do. Not great.
It also eats our own P2's Thunderbolt.
Yeah, also not great.
Next up, we have Rain Team plus Moltres.
Yeah, this actually seems fine as well. Politoed Kingdra is the obvious combination. Next to that, we have Raichu and Coco, which is kind of weird. Coco is probably just screen support here.
You get to discharge. Discharge still hits all of them.
You're way smarter than I am, man.
You get to boost your Raichu while also hitting the other 2 Pokemon on the other side of the field.
I don't know what they pay you, but it's not enough.
I for some reason, I figured out Series 7 much easier than it took me to figure out Series 6.
Look, man, I don't know what I'm doing, I have a team built for this tournament next week, and that doesn't mean I know what I'm doing.
Kartana here is likely holding Assault Vest. Most Kartanas are holding Assault Vest anymore.
Is it weird to you that they are?
No, actually no, because when you Dynamax it, it actually takes hits. Like, it can take certain fire-type attacks that aren't static.
Especially paired next to screens. It can live basically anything you throw at it. But
also in the rain.
True, that's also another big thing. But, like, I played with, like, AV Kartana, and it still just died.
I haven't...
And it could just be that, like, I was misplaying it where, like, okay, they have an obvious fire type they're going to bring here. I can't afford to bring Kartana unless this is already cleared. And if it's not, then it's just dead weight and it dies.
So let me tell you, if there's one way to clear fire types, it's having 2 water types on your team.
Yeah. I was playing with Dracovish next to it, and, like, when you got to do your thing, it was really powerful.
Yep.
Like, Dracovish, T-Tar, Kartana, that's a combination.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a thing.
And it slaps. It slaps hard.
This Moltres here, I feel like it's like we trigger policy with Discharge or Volt Switch. Or something.
Probably Volt Switch from Raichu. You could also be Special Coco and, like, Play Rough into it. That's probably
Coco didn't get Play Rough.
Oh, yeah.
Lele and Feeny did.
Does it get, like, Disarming Voice or anything weird?
I think it's Fairy Wind.
That's not very good, so that could work.
I like this rain team, but granted, I like all rain teams.
Same.
Just because it gets to play my boy Kingdra and Politoed.
So it's special fairy moves. Actually, it's only fairy moves it gets are Dazzling Gleam, Nature's Madness, and Fairy Wind.
Oh, we're Nature's Madness.
No, that doesn't work.
You get to trigger Berserk.
Oh! Does it still trigger policy?
Because
it's technically getting hit by a super effective move, but it just does set damage.
We could showdown test it. You do that, I'm going to keep talking. The next team here is really something cool. I like seeing Salamence. I haven't seen almost any of it like anywhere since like testing for Series 7 ended, and we got Crown Tundra. But Salamence Metagross is scary. We also get to pair this with an Amoonguss, a Moltres, our own Intimidator, an Incineroar, and a Nihilego. Again, Nihilego coming back up here. I know Pokesports, I was watching some of their videos, they did a Nihilego team, and it just set up and it just blows people up.
Yep, that's exactly what it does. Like, you need one boost, then you Dynamax it, and then it sweeps.
Yep.
And that's literally what it does.
You could also just focus sash it.
Yeah, the downside is it's not very bulky, if I remember correctly. Let me... Here, Sableye Bot, you're useful.
Again, this is another Moltres team where Moltres doesn't have a clear way to get its policy triggered.
Oh, good lord. I actually didn't know the stats on this thing.
Yeah, no, its special attack is huge.
Special defense is higher.
Yeah.
Its defense is absolute garbage.
Oh, yeah, no.
It's kind of bad in a Metagross format. But
you get hit by a ground-type move, you're dead.
Yeah.
You might be able to survive Earth Power, and that's about it. But usually your sets are like max HP, max special attack, so you get your special attack boosts after Beast Boost. So that's a thing. Notably, we have a Amoonguss here to pair with it, so it doesn't just get blown up. Next team here is Tapu Fini, Kartana, Landorus, Therian, Tyranitar, Rotom Heat, and Porygon 2. I'm assuming Porygon 2 is just like, here's my Dynamax style Porygon 2, because we don't really want to be slow mode here.
It's not awful. It also could just be that, hey, this can take multiple hits as needed. Like,
it can counter Trick Room. We can Dynamax it if we want to.
I could see this being the Dynamax counter more so than being a Dynamax target. I mean, it being the Trick Room counter, not the Dynamax target. There we go. I had to think about what I was saying.
I've seen plenty of P2s that just go big in front of you after it gets a good download boost. Oh my goodness, it's scary because you just can't take it out and it just keeps getting scarier.
I'm a big fan of that, especially if it has like tri-attack, so it can just max strike you.
Yeah.
It does like
usually those sets do. It's like they just have Trick Room as like the move that's just like they're protect when they go big with it if they need to.
If I was to do that, I'd probably replace Ice Beam and have tri-attack and still have recover, so you can recover late game too. But I don't know.
The last one here, the player's name is Triceratops, like on card, which is cute because they have Guzzlord and Celestelia and Tapu Fini.
Is this the... Yeah, this is the...
This is the Guzzlord team.
Okay, so I have watched a lot of people play this team. Aaron Zhang played this on... I can't remember what he calls his series.
Road to Ranked.
Thank you. I literally watch it every day and I can't remember what it's called. I just blanked hard. First episode he played with this. Easy 3-0 Guzzlord was the best thing you could possibly do. It was amazing. Next episode, Guzzlord was absolutely awful. Why are we actually playing this?
Yeah, that tends to be the thing.
So this set is super, super weird. We're weakness policy Guzzlord. Eviolite on Dusclops, obviously. Like that's the obvious thing. Mm-hmm. I believe we're Life Orb Fini, so we can just do extra amounts of damage. And the super weird one, we are Expert Belt Amoonguss.
So we can Oko Tapus.
No, we can't.
Oh, we can't?
No. We can.
I know there is an Amoonguss set that can.
So this Amoonguss can two-shot Fini around its berry.
Okay. So that's cool.
Unless they get a Calm Mind up, and then you're screwed.
Oh, that tends to be the one. Let's be honest here. Moving on to the winner's side, the top winner here. I feel like we've said these 5 or 6 like all together.
These mons are all good, man.
Kartana
I'm not
is
surprised
like
by this.
the only difference I think between it and the first place on the other one.
This is the first Eliki in Oceania too.
Yeah, not surprising though. It's up near the top. I don't see a lot of people probably countering this Pokemon. Aleki, Tapu Fini, Glastrier, Incineroar, Dusclops, and Kartana. Again, all these Pokemon are really, really good. They do really well together. I can't think of a bad thing to say about this team, really.
No, these are all good mons. I enjoy this team.
Yep. Next up, Thundurus Incarnate, Grimmsnarl, Landorus, Therian, Heatran, Urshifu. I'm assuming Dark Urshifu.
That looks like Dark Urshifu.
I would appreciate if they did what they did what Europe did.
Yeah, why didn't they?
I don't know. And then Tapu Fini. I'm not sure if this Thundurus is defiant on this team. We don't have that many physical attackers that care. I don't think it is. This one probably is more speed control.
Like, Urshifu laughs at Intimidate. Landorus can just chip you away.
Landorus can just hop out whenever it wants. Heatran doesn't care. Tapu Fini doesn't care.
Grimmsnarl says, all right, here's my screens.
Sure.
Please take me out now.
Take me out, please.
I'm going to Spirit Break your Fini until you kill me.
Yeah. That's pretty standard. It's not like standard, but it's like good mons to counter other mons. Heatran is a Pokemon I feel like is like underplayed as well.
True. I'm a big fan of Heatran. I originally was playing with it, and then I found... we'll talk about it later, I think. Did we talk about the Entei team last week?
No.
Because I wasn't playing it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I was originally playing Heatran over Entei, and then I found this... I started working on this super sweet support Entei set and fell in love with it instead. So Heatran it's dead to me.
It's on standby. Next team here, Gastrodon, Landorus, Clefairy, Kartana.
You said 2 mons in the first 3 that I haven't heard in quite a while.
Yeah, right? Kartana, Tyranitar, and Rotom Heat again.
This is weird.
So I feel like we're just Gastrodon because we have 3 water weaknesses.
Probably. Like this, but like Fini still says Muddy Water doesn't care.
Yeah.
So like, I don't No.
I don't know.
Are you hoping Feeney instead is running Scald?
Maybe. Because I've seen that. I'm
doing it on Milotic. I'm playing Scald over.
But you also don't set Misty Terrain when you swap your Milotic in.
Yeah.
The teams that I see Tapu Fini running Scald, they usually have either Rillaboom or Tapu Koko to change the terrain when they want to. So they can fish for Scald burns. Regieleki here on this next team. Regieleki, Sylveon. That's a Pokemon you haven't seen in a while.
What?
Oh, here you go. The first Togekiss, period.
Neat.
Togekiss, Dragapult, Incineroar, Rotom Wash, Sylveon, Regieleki.
$20 says this is weakness policy Dragapult.
Probably. I can see it.
If not, I don't know where the weakness policy is.
Could be Togekiss.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. But
that's the only other option, really.
True. I mean, you could be Incineroar with... Does Sylveon get bulldozed?
No.
Damn. I'm out of ideas then. How does this team ever beat Trick Room?
You blow them up before it happens.
So you don't?
Yeah, you don't. Sylveon's actually fairly slow. Just like
it's base 60?
It's in there.
It's not awful.
It's not terrible. But yeah, you just hope you beat it. At that point, you just try to stall it out by swapping effectively and protecting, and then you get there.
You have Screen Eliki. That's how you survive.
Yep. Next up, Clefairy, Landorus Therian, Kartana, Tapu Fini, Moltres, and Incineroar.
Yeah, these are 5 mons that are widely played next to a Clefairy.
I wonder how well Clefairy can just, keep Moltres alive.
Fairly well.
Friend Guard is probably insane.
Friend Guard is real good. If screens have taught me anything, reducing the damage output to your mons is insane.
Yeah.
Especially with an ability like Berserk, where you don't want to get one shot. So reducing that damage as much as possible to where you can still get triggered is insane.
Yep. Next up, Dragapult, Glacier, Dusclops, Tapu Fini, Regieleki, and Incineroar.
This is like the hyper offense team, but it has a slow mode next to
it literally just is like, here's Dusclops, I can turn off Trick Room if I need to, or I can set up Trick Room for my Glacier in the back.
Yep. Seems fine. I got nothing else to say.
Glacier, Tapu Fini, Ferrothorn, Rotom Heat, Landorus, and another Grimmsnarl.
Yeah, it's fine.
Notably, we don't have a way to set up Trick Room, so I'm guessing this Glacier is more just like a Trick Room counter. If we see Trick Room, we just bring Glacier in the back.
I mean, you don't necessarily need Trick Room for it to be good.
Well, I'm just saying, it's just like, if we probably lead with Grimmsnarl, Landorus, and then we just bring Glacier, Ferrothorn to the back.
Nah, you kidding me? I'm leading Glacier, Grimmsnarl and just setting screens and going big.
Then hope they don't burn you. Will-O-Wisp on Dusclops. Good luck faking that out. You got a Kangaskhan on your team somewhere? Because that's how you're doing that.
So we got Feeney in the back for, man.
Last team here from Oceania, Mimikyu.
Hey, there's a Mimikyu!
Torkoal, Rillaboom, Venusaur, Charizard, and Stack Attack. This is the weirdest Trick Room team I've ever seen.
No, this is Sunroom. That's all it is.
I know, it's just the weirdest. You swapped out Dusclops for Mimikyu.
Yeah, which I actually think on this team is a good switch.
And you don't have Indeedee.
That's fine. I think you just lead Stack Attack and Mimikyu, and if you need to go slow mode.
Who's got the trick? Who's going to
who's going to do it?
Yes.
If you double into Mimikyu, cool. Now you have a Stack Attack to deal with. If you double into Stack Attack, well, I just Swords Dance with Mimikyu instead and swept you. so
it's in there.
Who needs a slow mode when I have Mimikyu?
Yeah. Well, that's a very unique take on Sunroom.
I actually really like the change of Dusclops to Mimikyu. Granted, you're also swapping out I guess Feeney for Stack Attacker. And then your typical Trick Room sweeper is normally Glastrier or Oh, what else is the Sunroom like? Probably not actually Glastrier, because you don't want to set up Sun and then let them do their thing. I mean, obviously Torkoal, but they normally have one more next to it.
It's usually Glastrier.
Is it?
Yep.
Next to Torkoal?
Yep.
That seems real awkward. Like, I'm not crazy for thinking that, right?
No, it's not. You're not crazy. But most of the time, they just focus down Torkoal because they want to change the weather away, because Torkoal plus Sun is so much damage anyway.
You also just... I believe Torkoal is slower than Glastrier, so you can still get, like, a huge eruption off, and then just, max Hailstorm and change the weather yourself so you don't get hit.
Yep. Moving on to the next region.
So that was Oceania. Now we have NA?
Yep, we're in NA.
Is this it?
Nope, we've got one more region after that. That's where all the Rotom heats are at. We got one more region after this going into Latin America.
I was going to say...
Latin.
Yeah.
Hey,
look at that. This is Nihilego.
There's a lot of Clefairy. Holy crap.
That is a lot of Clefairy.
There's 3.
There's 3...
4.
3. 4.
There's 4.
Neat.
So, starting off with the losers bracket, Nihilego, Kartana, Thundurus, Incarnate, Rotom Heat, Dark Urshifu, and Clefairy. Not a 6 you'd expect.
Not together.
Not usually, no.
Like, these are 6 ones that I could see in this format, but...
Not all of them at the same time.
This is weird.
Notably,
how do you beat a Feeny? I guess you have Nihilego and Rotom.
You got Nihilego, Rotom, and Thundurus.
And Kartana, all
4 of those hit Feeny.
So how do you beat Metagross then? It's just Rotom,
Urshifu,
right?
Like Urshifu and Rotom.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We are Dark Urshifu.
Yeah. Nihilego has got a ground weakness, but you got 2 Pokemon that ignore ground.
This is like on face value, you're like, man, this is real weird, and then like you have to start looking at it. But like,
so good too, because
Clefairy actually does a lot here.
Friend Guard for Nihilego and Kartana and Urshifu.
I'm actually a big fan of this. I need
cute.
to. Don't mind me. I'm just taking a picture so I can send this to people.
Next up here, Torkoal, Clefairy, Nihilego, Gmax Charizard, Landorus, and Whimsicott. So this is like could be like another weird take on Sunroom. Because Whimsicott can do Trick Room things, Clefairy's Follow Me. Torkoal likes being slow, Nihilego kind of likes being slow. Landorus and Charizard just started a fast mode on this team. Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, seems fine.
More Sunroom after that. Venusaur, Torkoal, Stakataka, Indeedee, Thundurus, Incarnate, and Landorus, Therian. That one also seems pretty standard.
Yeah, again, nothing... Yeah.
It's like we have our slow mode with Venusaur.
It's Sunroom, man.
And other stuff would be fast.
It's Sunroom, but we also have... Yeah, it seems fine.
Sandra Dracovish is back.
Love it.
Dracovish, Dracovish, Incineroar, Feeny, Tyranitar, Zapdos, Cantonian Zapdos, and Kartana. This seems pretty common for like what we expect to see for sand teams.
I just don't know what Zapdos is doing here.
I
just really don't know what this thing is doing in this format.
If you had like a ground type, you could do Discharge Earthquake, but
yeah, Disquake is really good, but
nothing here is a
we
ground
don't
type.
have it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
nothing.
Also, it's just like you want to put Life Orb on Vish probably, and you want to put Assault Vest on Kartana. So what do you put on Zapdos?
It's primarily going to be support here. If it's not, I'd be very surprised. It's just what kind of support is it providing?
That's the important question, right?
Like in the past, it was like Tailwind, Discharge, and like
you're not doing that anymore.
Honestly, I think one of the biggest drops off for specifically Zapdos is losing Hidden Power.
Yeah, that's another one.
Like that seems like a big deal. Like
it does get Heat Wave.
It's something I've ran in the past.
So,
but
you get fire coverage.
The downside is you historically wanted Hidden Power Ice for Lando, and now you just don't have a way of hitting Lando super effectively.
Not with that, no. But Dracovish over here can just
True.
fish just right.
True.
Did you know Dracovish Sandrush can outspeed modest Regielekis?
Yep.
At max at 252. It is gross.
Yep. Mine, the one that I was working with was spec to be exactly faster than Eliki, and from there you just bulk up.
Here's another fun tip. Jolly Dracovish still outspeeds timid Regieleki at 252. Yep. You will still outspeed it if you go both speed boosting, you will still outspeed it.
Mine was Jolly with enough speed to outspeed Modest, so that
you then get a little bit of bulk.
Yep, I wanted the extra bulk that it added.
Next team is 5 of the same, and we swap dragons. Yeah, literally that's what it is.
I actually don't like that. I don't like that change.
I don't like that at all. Yeah, Cantonian, Zapdos, Incineroar, Kartana, Tyranitar, Fini, and then we swap Dracovish for Dragapult.
I like the idea of like Kartana Dracovish T-Tar as like your sand core. I think that's a very good sand core. So I don't understand why
we swapped.
I don't understand what we're improving. What we're improving a matchup against by swapping to Dragapult.
Dragon Ghost is really good coverage. That's the only thing I can think of.
Agreed.
That's like the only reason why you'd probably swap.
This could be...
Most of the time, Dracovish is like Fisher's Red Bot.
This could be special Dragapult.
That could be true.
To be able to deal with Metagross more effectively.
That's most likely what it is.
Which, if that's the case, then I like that, but I think I like Dracovish more.
Yeah. Next up, G-Max Zard, Whimsicott, Nihilego. We just talked about this.
Yeah, literally.
Just in a different order.
Literally the team we just talked about.
We just talked about it way up the top, so it's the same team, it's just in a different order.
Good talk.
Colossal is back after being completely gone in Oceania. We get it back in a loser's bracket here. Cresselia, Water Urshifu, Dragapult, G-Max Colossal, Incineroar, and Rillaboom, which I believe this is like 5 of the 6, and we swapped out the Trick Room setter.
Yep.
From Santi's team, pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, almost.
So
almost
if you want that, there's probably a team report that Santi did up somewhere, and you can go read that, and then just swap whatever the Trick Room setter was. I think it was Dusclops for.
It was Dusclops at the time.
For Cresselia, you can just swap the wording.
I think I still like Dusclops more.
I did not realize that Eeks made it in. Barely squeaked in.
Hey, barely is still in.
Barely is in. Comfey, Moltres, which I love that. I love Comfey, Moltres, Glastrier. I love it so much.
Who needs Glastrier, man?
I love that those trio. It's just like your Sand Core that you were talking about with Kartana, Tyranitar, Dracovish. Moltres, Comfey, Glastrier just does so much together.
I tried it, and there were so many times where I'm just like, I don't want this Glastrier. I would rather this be literally any other threat.
Nah. I love it.
And I get it. It could just be that the team I was playing it on didn't need Glastrier specifically, and so I dropped it. I felt like I was kind of lacking in the special offensively Mon, so I swapped it for Milotic, and that felt like a very good swap.
Notably, Eeks doesn't have the Glastrier. He has Metagross, Rotom Wash, Amoonguss, and Incineroar to pair with all of those.
Comfey's gross.
We haven't talked about Moltres Comfey at all yet. No, this is the first time we've seen it, and we'll see it again later on in NA. But
I was going to talk about my team as well, which is this nonsense.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be playing for the PokePod event next week.
Yeah. Which we'll talk about it more because I've been playing Comfey Moltres Glastrier teams on laddering the week before, and they all did great.
Yep. So that's. My team is what I'm planning to play for laddering this week, just because I don't think we had a team of the week prepared, and if so, it's just stuff that people have been playing, and it's all Garachoo stuff, and I don't want to run back Garachoo this week.
Yeah, it'd just be another Garachoo team, most likely.
So instead, we're going to play what I've been playing, and people are going to have to deal with it.
I will say I really liked Swede's team, and I'm sad he's not playing it.
I am too.
I really liked that one. I liked that one a lot. That one went 4-0. I made people rage quit. I was very happy.
Have you recorded the last one?
No, not yet. But
okay,
it's the
you're
same
recording
6.
that tomorrow. I'm assuming?
I have practiced with it by now.
Yeah.
I've already played pretty much 8 matches with the cores on it. So
you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Gyarados still really good, man.
Oh yeah.
People are. Has there been a Gyarados yet? We haven't talked about
Gyarados yet. We saw one Raichu earlier.
Disappointing.
The no surprise here. The first place team was the same first place team that we talked about way back at the start of this in Europe.
Yep, not surprised.
It's the same 6.
I feel like we've talked about those 6 a lot.
Yeah, this is like the 4th time we've seen them all together, I think.
I'd be very surprised if that's not the case. Someone should count that for me because I'm too lazy to.
Leave it in a comment down below. Next up here, Kartana, Clefairy, Dark Urshifu, Thunderous Incarnate, Nihilego, and Rotom Heat.
I actually really like pairing Kartana next to Clefairy.
Every time I see it, it's
I'm just
so
like, this
good.
is great.
You slap an Assault Vest.
Hey, we've talked about this team.
Yeah. We just talked about it. It's the first place in the losers bracket, so nothing surprising here. But Kartana and Clefairy and Nihilego and Clefairy, they just all pair so well.
I know that name. Kokoro and Benji Wing. I know that name. I believe I'm going to do some investigating.
Okay, I'm going to keep talking. Next up here, we have Sunroom with Grimmsnarl and Landorus. Torkoal, Venusaur, Glacier, Dusclops is the big 4. That's like usually what you see for Sunroom. And then Grimmsnarl is Screens and Landorus is Intimidate. Mainly so we don't have to double up on fire types for Incineroar. Also, notably, it avoids ground type moves so we can swap in for Torkoal if we need to. Next up here is Grimmsnarl, P2, Tapu Fini, Cantonian Zapdos, Metagross, and Incineroar. Now that's a 6. All 6 of those are just weird. That's a weird 6. I'm not sure if I like this. Like, what do? We just Metagross go big and hope that that's good enough, or Tapu Fini go big, and then the rest of it's like support. This would be a one where I believe the Assault Vest is on a Zapdos this time, and Zapdos is actually dealing damage. That's like the only thing I can think of.
Maybe? I don't even feel good about that, though.
Yeah, I don't feel good about that either. Oh, we get to talk about Regigigas next. Yes.
Cool.
Cantonian Weezing, Regigigas, Dark Urshifu, Tapu Fini, Rotom Heat, Regieleki. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Regigigas is insane when it gets to do its thing. The only downside is that the first turn you always know Weezing protects, so you can usually just double into Regigigas and put some decent chunk damage on it. And the minute that you don't protect with Weezing, everyone's going to get you all the time.
I know where I know Benji Wing from now. He was the original. He was where we stole the Durant team from.
Oh, that's why.
He was second place at Dallas this year.
That's why.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. I'm like, I know that name. I have read that somewhere. Yeah, it's because I've read this team report from Dallas.
Like, it's with so much Earthquake running around, you have to protect with Weezing on turn 1.
Yep.
Almost
And,
every
like,
time.
With, notably, this is Kanto Weezing, which you probably were talking about when I was looking things up, which I actually talked to you, I think, last week about. I'm just like, is there a reason to be playing this over Galarian? Like, the stats are literally the same, but you drop a weakness. You drop your steel weakness, right?
You drop your steel weakness for the ability to hit dragon types super effectively.
Which I don't know if that's actually relevant. So I'm kind of actually glad to see that so far the only Regigigas is next to Kanto Weezing, because it makes me feel validated.
The only one so far.
Yeah, true. It makes me feel that, hey, I'm not a complete idiot.
Next up is Wolfie Glick's team that he used for the Players' Cup. He didn't drop a match. He ended up in the winner's bracket.
I'm not surprised to hear that either.
To hear it at all.
Who knew that Wolf Glick is still really good at Pokemon?
It's the 4 of the 6 from before, but instead of Incineroar, we have Moltres, and instead of Urshifu, we have Kartana. From the first place teams.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Specifically, I think it's just like Moltres is just a really good weakness policy mod, and it's really bulky. And then Kartana with Assault Vest, like I said, you could Dynamax it. You could survive some fire type attacks that aren't stab, And then even like if rain is up or somehow like something like that happens, you can just still survive fire type attacks.
If I was a betting man, this is probably Citrus Berry on Moltres, and we have Weakness Balls and Glastrier next to Dusclops or Brick.
Yeah.
Notably, with the amount of screens that have been running around, Dusclops Brick Break is actually just like really good.
Fun
and
fact,
no one has talked about it.
I have Brick on my Metagross just for that reason.
Yep, sure, man.
It's the only Pokemon I had that learned Brick Break, and I'm like, I'm gonna put it on this Metagross. Why not? I'm like,
I can't remember if I have it on mine. No, I have.
Set, you
I have Ice Punch and Thunder Punch.
You only probably need one of those, honestly.
And you're probably not wrong.
Usually, like if you're AV, you want Ground, Steel, and then one of the punches, and then Psychic, so you can just set up terrain whenever you want.
It's why I have Electric Terrain. I already have Coco.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of Zen Headbutt. Like I just don't think I need the Stab Psychic move, and I would rather be able to hit the dragons more effectively.
Yeah. I specifically have the Psychic move just to like hit Water Fu if I ever see it, because Water Fu is scary to my team.
Which I could swap Ice Punch for Brick Break just to be able to have
Thunder
Knuckle.
Punch, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but I also have Knuckle, which could be better against like Glastrier.
That was another thing. Is like if I Dynamax my Metagross, I want to have Knuckle be able to boost my own attack because I don't have Weakness Policy on it.
Yep, which I may be. So like there is that, but I don't know. That's something to think about between now and next week.
Yep.
I might. I guess that needs to be sent in by Saturday. So Saturday morning. So I have a day.
You got a little while.
Yeah, I got 36 hours to fret over it, and
if you change something last minute, you can always forward it to Tofu. You can always go in and change it.
I literally can just change it myself.
But I would always forward it to Tofu just to make
sure. Be like, hey, by the way, I changed this. Here's the new rental code.
Yep. Next up is Donald Smith Jr., who actually posted the NA top 16 for us on Twitter.
Great. You're amazing. Thank you. You make our life easier.
Moltres, Dusclops, Glastrier, Tapu Fini. It's those four. Those four are almost always seen together. And then, okay, this has to be G-Max Grimmsnarl because they specifically changed it.
Again, could just be
a misclick, but if they did it for the other ones, if they've been importing them like that.
I mean, it also could just be that, hey, I have this as a G-Max just in case it literally ever comes up. But I don't think this is a G-Max Grimmsnarl team. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And then Amoonguss to round out this one, which... Seeing those forward, seeing Dusclops, Glastrier, Fini, Moltres, makes me think I probably should just do that instead of the Comfey thing. But I really like Comfey.
I have been nothing but impressed with Comfey the more I've
drop Dusclops, slot in Comfey, and I have those four.
Yep.
And then I have Metagross and then Raichu. Which Raichu, I could be almost anything at this point. Like, Screens Raichu is cute, but like I also have like Screens Regieleki, but then I have to go get a Regieleki. I don't want to shiny hunt it.
I have a shiny one.
I ain't gonna use that one.
Look, man,
unless you can prove to me that it is not hacked.
I can't because its name says it is.
Last team for NA here: Comfey, Rillaboom, Mamoswine popped up again. Thank goodness. Stakataka, Moltres, Rotom Heat. Mamoswine's another one that just hits a lot of the format, and it's just really good.
Big fan.
It's like Rotom Heat, Mamoswine, Nihilego hits a lot of the popular mons. Moving on to our last one. You ready for Latin America and all the Haluchas and Ludicolo's you could ever want?
Man, I don't know if I can handle that. That's a lot of teams.
Notably, we get our second Togekiss here.
Second out of two?
Out of the one we had before.
Yeah, I'm saying out of two, though.
Yeah, that's the last one. That's
cool.
2 Togekiss. 2.
But, Carl, it used to be really good.
I don't know why it's not anymore. It's probably because of Regieleki's thing, honestly. This team is, again, Colossal. Dragapult, again, is here. I think every region has to have at least one.
Did North America?
North America had one. Oceania, I don't think Oceania had one.
Europe had 2?
Yeah, so we had at least
sure.
one
Close
region.
Enough.
because I know the North America one was Santi's team swap Cresselia.
Yep.
But this one is not that. Anything but that. We have no Trick Room Center. We dropped Rillaboom. We now have Kartana, Urshifu, Dark Urshifu, Cortopagus, Glastier. That's a weird one. Colossal, and Dragapult. If we had a way to set Trick Room...
I'd love this.
Yeah.
I don't like Togekiss here. Is that crazy?
If we had a way to set Trick Room, we'd probably want to keep Togekiss.
But we don't, so that's
so
our bet.
Probably where we're cutting.
Yep.
I was thinking if we had a way to trigger policy with Glastier through Bulldoze.
Mm-hmm.
For our Torkoal. Not Torkoal, Colossal. Plus, then we get to lower our speed even more.
Which is good for TR.
Granted, we lower everybody else's speed too, but if Moltres and Rotom Heat and a bunch of stuff just everywhere. Next up here, we have Cresselia, T-Tar, Tapu Fini, Landorus Incarnate, Kartana, Rotom Heat. I feel like we talked about this 6 before.
I feel like we have too. At this point, I'm not going to lie to you.
Most of these we probably talked about.
A lot of these are also running together, so.
Yeah. I
just caught this right-hand side.
I just want to talk about there's 7 of the 8 Rotom Heats in the losers bracket. There's one team left out.
I just happened to look over and I saw that. I'm like,
That was the big thing I wanted to talk about. Also, there's Garchomp in Latin America.
Yeah, this is the only Garchomps here.
And a Spectrier.
Whoa. Okay. So let's just hit those real quick on the left hand side here. We have Venu, Stakataka, Gmax Hatterene, Indeedee, Garchomp, and Torkoal.
So this is like Sunroom, and we swapped dragons for whatever we normally play that slot.
No, how I feel. Garchomp is one of those that people are playing, and I don't think is very good still.
It just sucks that everything that hits Landorus for super effective could also just take Garchomp for 4 times super effective.
It also sucks that Feeney's the most played Mon and laughs at it.
Yeah.
So just oh, okay.
I'm gonna just moonblast you here real quick after I set up a couple calm minds because you can't.
You can't hurt me, and now you're dead.
Yep.
Neat.
Another rain team after that one.
Yeah.
It's our second rain team.
Rain with
also has
Entei.
Yeah, which Entei's support Entei is really good.
Grassy Seed Entei.
Yep, could do that. Or you could do Grassy Seed Celesteela.
That's probably more accurate, but I love Entei, man.
Yeah. Also has Raichu. And then we're going to talk about the Spectrier team down here.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So, I know we navigated a bunch of calcs on it, and Spectrier can knock out most weakness policy Metagrosses.
Yep.
Whereas it can't knock out AV easily.
It comes close, but because the AV, it I believe becomes a roll. Yeah. Penguin and I were working on it with Dragapult, and that was one thing that he's like, hey, how do I fix this? I'm like, well, you probably want fast Will-O-Wisp if you're replacing Dragapult. He's like, well, conveniently Dragapult gets fast Will-O-Wisp. I'm like, so you probably just want to switch your set around and not be physical where you have a chance to, and instead just blow them up.
Yeah, just
he was also weakness policy, so at +2, you just literally don't care.
Yeah, I remember doing calcs and showing him that one as well. It's just like special Dragapult just blows up everything.
Yep, he's like, so yeah, I'm playing with a lower stat, but theirs is also lower by a larger margin.
Yeah.
So blow them up.
But yeah, Spectrier is interesting. It's a good support Pokemon too. It's a fast Will-O-Wisp.
It's
it has
real fast Will-O-Wisp, yeah.
Regieleki, Amoonguss, Landorus, Therian, Moltres, and Incineroar. There's so many Moltreses without other things to go with it, and it's so surprising.
Yeah, naked Moltres is really surprising to me here. As much as we've actually seen it, this next one as well,
Yeah, Mamoswine, Moltres, Rillaboom, Rotom Heat, Regirock. Regirock's back.
Am I missing something with Regirock?
So is Gastrodon. Gastrodon's on the next team.
Am I missing something with Regirock? I played with it, and I wasn't overly impressed. I honestly felt like it could be stereotypical Trick Room Sweeper, and it would have been fine on that team.
Just slap Glastrier on there instead.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're missing. Maybe there's something with Regirock that we don't understand.
It gets Clear Body, which I guess is pretty good.
That's actually really good.
Especially
when everyone's having Intimidate.
Especially when you're pairing it next to Feeny, so you aren't getting burnt as well. Like, that seems like a pretty...
really good, actually.
Yeah, like you're slow Metagross at that point.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
And then next one's got Gashdon, Sand, Trick Room. Not Trick Room. Indeedee. I have no idea what this team's doing.
Yeah, this is a weird one too.
I want Trick Room on this team if I have Indeedee, and Incineroar, and then
Thundurus doesn't get Trick Room for some reason, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I want Trick Room on this team, and then just have fast mode with Thundurus and Rotom Heat. This Rillaboom, I just feel like is weird.
Yep.
Next team, I think we've already talked about at some point. Seems fairly common. No, we haven't talked about it.
No.
But it's literally Weakness Policy Metagross with Brittle Swing Tornadus.
Yep.
Another Garchomp team. This one has Pheromosa, so we actually get
fast coaching. That can make a big difference on your
not
Garchomp.
only fast coaching, speed swap. We can make Garchomp faster than everything else, and actually Garchomp gets to do its thing.
More importantly, we can speed swap Metagross, and that's also just kind of gross.
Yeah, that's what the big thing I liked about Sweet's team with Pheromosa is just Pheromosa just speed swaps whatever, and then it becomes the fastest thing on the field, and Pheromosa's just okay, I'm done.
So Penguin and I were looking. He's like, man, I really want a special attacker. So I just went on Showdown, sorted by special attackers, took a screenshot, sent it to him. I'm like, all right, what have you not tried on this? He's like, why is Pheromosa's special attack that high?
Because it's the glass cannon.
He's like, it has no right being that high. I'm like, look, man, when you're pairing it next to 37 defense, what do you expect?
Yeah, you got to give it something. We also missed this Galarian Articuno down here. You can't even tell that's what this is.
That's what that is?
Yeah, that's a Galarian Articuno.
Oh.
I like that you just zoom in.
Dude, it's hideous.
It doesn't look like that, right?
No, it looks like a purple... Okay, so it looks like one of the doodles off of Sableye Box. I've been looking at those so much this last week, I literally couldn't tell what that was.
I think this is Sandrush Dracozolt.
Love it.
I think that's what this is.
I love it.
I
don't think it's better than Hustle, but I love it.
Paired with Rotom Heat, Galarian Articuno, and Landorus Therian, and Whimsicott and Tyranitar. Next team, I think we talked about already at some point. Team after that is Togedemaru.
That's another one.
That's
a Pokemon
it's
that
Steel
exists.
Electric Fake Out Lightning Rod user. Spiky Shield's cute.
Eh.
And then this last team is here's Tyranitar, Beanie, Hartana, and we don't have Dracovish. Makes me sad.
Yeah.
Instead, we're playing Dragapult and then Landorus and Rotom Heat.
Man, I really want to play with the Sand Force.
Landorus?
Dude, that looks so fun. I love the idea behind it, and I want to. Someone should build that and send it in for Team of the Week. I will feature it.
Yeah. I saw you gave me a Pokepace.
Yeah, I did. So,
I'm assuming this is your team that you want to talk about.
Yep.
Before we get out of here, since this is going to be our Team of the Week, most likely.
Yep, this is what I'm going to be playing for laddering this week. We've kind of talked about everything here, but now we're just all slapping it all together. So, the big combo here is Comfey, Moltres. Weakness Policy, obviously, on your Moltres, so you can trigger it with your Draining Kiss. We have Floral Healing, so we can keep Moltres alive forever, give her multiple Berserk triggers. It's great. It is absolutely amazing. I have been overly impressed with this time and time again. This is 99% of the time what I have in the back. 99% of the time, I'm leading Coco Entei.
Yeah.
Because we have Electric Seed on Entei. If you want to scroll down for me. This is not completely up to date. The Entei I'm playing with has Snarl over Extreme Speed, but once Electric Seed is triggered, you can live a Max Quake from literally everything. There's not been anything that is a physical mon that I've seen that actually makes Entei scared, especially when we pair it next to Coco and can set screens.
Yeah.
So if they're faster than us, like we have electro webs, we can slow them down. We have screens so we can actually do our things. We stall out their Dynamax, chip away with Sacred Fire, will-o-wisp their threats, and like just look and laugh at them, make them waste their Dynamax, and then come in with Comfey, and it like even the number of times I'm just like, all right, Comfey next to Entei, just floral healing a billion times, and make it where this thing doesn't die.
Heal up all the time.
I had a game go 20 plus turns that I hadn't Dynamaxed yet because I just sat there and clicked floral healing next to Entei and just. They had like a Tyranitar and a Dracovish that were both burnt, and just like, you are dead. Why are we continuing to play this game? And then, so that 4 has been the core I have played with since the beginning that I started actually working on this team. The last 2 members have kind of flip-flopped a lot. Originally it was like Tyranitar Dracovish, cut Tyranitar for Kartana because I wanted to try that out. It was fine. Ended up cutting both of those. I tried Glastrier and trying to think what was next to it. I think it was Glastrier Dracovish, and like that was okay. And I finally cut both of those and went with Milotic and Metagross. Originally, I was like, all right, I want Milotic for competitive so I can like prevent them from intimidating me. And then I'm like, all right, what pairs next to like something that wants to be intimidated? Oh wait, Metagross that has Clear Body. This is even better. I don't really care.
So, notably, it's just like all your physical attackers don't care about intimidate.
My entire team is resilient to intimidate. We just don't care.
Yeah, you just don't care. Your Tapu Koko's special. Your Moltres is special. Comfey's not hitting anything.
Entei's immune. Metagross is immune. Yeah, it's actually amazing.
I feel like you're not going to see any intimidators really. Like you won't. They won't bring them. They just don't. They just won't.
The number of times my opponent has like brought in Incineroar, gave me my competitive boost, and then like messed around and had to switch out for some reason because I threatened them. I'm just like,
immediately.
Oh yeah, you're gonna give me another +2 in the late game.
Just immediately regret that. Yeah.
And like the number of times where like Landers has come in, intimidated my Milotic. It's like, all right, well, they Dynamaxed Ice Beam you, bang.
Bang.
It's just like, oh. I've had multiple people concede because I Ice Beamed their Landorus and it died. It's like, well, that's what you get for bringing in a Landorus against my Milotic.
Yeah, that's what you get. Milotic's really good.
So, this is what I'm going to be playing for the PokePod Cup next week. Hopefully making top 2 in the
group you get paired in.
And from there, playing Top Cut if we make it. If not, I'll have my laddering episodes. I haven't decided if I'm going to record my matches for the event. Yeah, I figured I probably
would.
At least
record them. I may not have fancy intros or anything, but I'm at least going to record them so I can go back and look at them later.
Worst case scenario, I slap them all together like I did for the Players Cup. So, I don't know yet. That's future Carter's problem.
Yep.
Team's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it. The one change I might make on Metagross is cutting Ice Punch for Brick Break, but it's both have their upsides.
Yeah.
Like, the number of times I've just stalled out screens from my opponent and, like, set my own screens again with Coco coming in the late game. It's been great.
Yeah.
Screens Coco is absolutely insane, and not enough people are playing Coco.
I literally was just like, I want an electric one that sets screens, and Regieleki I have to shiny hunt, and I have a shiny Coco, but Coco just, I needed Lightning Rod too, because like I have a water type with Finny, and I have Moltres. I'm just like, I need Lightning Rod, and Raichu just fit the bill. So I'm doing pretty much the same exact thing, except I have Fake Out and Volt Switch, and then Reflect Light Screen on my Raichu.
Yeah, and like, dude, that's completely fine. The best part about this team is like they lead with Feeny. I can switch in my Coco, trigger my Seed, burn them, and just like things go downhill so quickly for my opponent. And like then I just stall out for 3 turns of their Dynamax. Theirs is over, and like I just sit here and look at them. It's great. Coco, because originally in team building it was Comfey Dragonite, and I wanted Entei next to Rillaboom. And then I started looking, I'm like, all right, I know Psychic Seed and Misty Seed are both special defense. I want Entei next to, like I wanted to get a defense boost, so that means I either need Grassy Seed or Electric Seed. Like, I originally had Eliki, like, support Eliki, and then I'm like, why am I doing that when I could just slap Coco on, have Electric Seed, everything's golden, and just run away with the game? And it's been phenomenal. I'm really hoping this team does well. If not, it's completely the team's fault and not mine at all.
My team, like I said, it's Glacier, Moltres, Comfey, and then I have Metagross, which you have my Metagross like EV spread. You have my Moltres spread.
My Metagross, I did make one little change. I went to 20 speed compared to 12. So my Metagross is faster than your Metagross by 1 point.
I'd rather be bulkier. I have mine in defense.
Mine was so it was easier to EV train. I'm not going to lie to you.
But mine is Metagross, Moltres, Comfey, Glacier, and then I have Tapu Fini in my water slot instead. And then I think my last Pokemon, like I said, is Raichu.
Yeah. Pretty much the same idea. But
not having a fire type coverage at all is kind of crappy, but it's whatever. I wish Metagross got Fire Punch.
Dude, same.
That solved my problem.
Same. But instead, I just have Entei to Sacred Fire things.
Yep. Anything else?
I got a whole lot of nothing, man.
Let's get out of here then.
I'm sure you're ready to go eat and go to bed. So.
Oh yeah, I'm tired.
All right, so make sure if you're listening on Anchor or Spotify or any other podcast, the audio side, that you go check out the YouTube channel. We have all kinds of content going up every single day. It's all kinds of great stuff that I highly recommend, and I'm not completely biased at all.
As of right now, we're at 98 subscribers. I would like to get 100 by the time this comes out.
So if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell for notifications when new stuff goes live. Leave a like. It really does help us out. And leave a comment down below. If you haven't signed up for the PokePod
Cup.
Yeah, the PokePod Cup. I'm sorry, dude. I'm going to screw that up every time.
Yep.
Those signups are unfortunately closed at this point. Those ended on Saturday morning.
Yep.
So that event is going to be running the next few weeks. So expect us to be able to talk about that as stuff happens. I know a bunch of our guys are playing Garachu in some variety.
Yeah.
And they've all been super hyped about it. So I haven't looked at anyone else's stuff because I plan on playing the event, which I've already signed up for. So
yeah, same. I haven't. That's why I always would say DM Tofu or Swede because we're playing in it.
We're mods, but we're also playing, and I think they're both playing as well. I know for sure Swede is.
Tofu is still deciding if he wants to play or not.
But he's going to be doing a lot of back end work.
Yeah. Which it's not a ton of back end work, it's just reporting matches.
But at that point I can do. If I have time at work, it takes 5 seconds or whatever to report
challenge,
it. Yeah. So I can of course help with that as needed, but I'm not looking at teams or anything because I don't want to metagame people because
not yet anyway.
It's not fun.
It's like once you get in your group, it's open. It's open team sheets for the most part.
Yep.
So then from there you can start to figure out. It's like, okay, they have these. I need to do this.
Yep.
With my 6 that I have. So.
So that's the YouTube thing. Make sure you leave a comment down below what you're playing for that. If you aren't, leave a comment talking about what you would play and why Nihilego is really good in this format.
Also, Rotom Heat and Mamoswine.
Yeah, mainly Mamoswine is the best thing.
Mamoswine's great.
If I had actually thought about it, I would have probably figured out Mamoswine sooner. I know at one point I'm just like, I'm going to play Sceptile next to Indeedee. I'm going to make this work, and I very quickly abandoned that.
Good. Sceptile's garbage.
Look, man, I don't have a shiny yet. I need one.
You can have a shiny, it's just Sceptile doesn't do anything.
It really doesn't. So let's see. That's that. Make sure you go and follow us on Twitter at LR Lessons, myself at Cardinal25, Carl at musical_33. You can find Carl and I both on Twitch as well. Myself at Mr. Missouri 25 and Carl at Musical. I currently have a sub goal, when I reach my sub goal of 10, I'm going to do a Nuzlocke of Rising Ruby, which is a very good Drayano ROM hack of Gen 6 remakes of Ruby and Sapphire. So I haven't looked at it at all, but I've heard really good things, so I'm excited for that. So if you want to support us, go the extra mile. Make sure you go and subscribe on there as well. Of course, not going to make you or anything like that. Not going to beg you all, but if you want to, it would be very, very appreciative.
Yeah.
If you're new, make sure you join the Discord. That is down in the show notes as always. Our Discord's great. I love every single one of them. I would consider them some of my best friends. I talked to them.
Join the Discord, you get to do these fun events like this.
Yeah, I talk to them more than I do like anyone else at this point. It seems like.
Yeah, I think I talked to my wife first, and then I probably talked to Discord the most second.
Yep. So
Discord, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.
Yep.
That's it.
Cool.
That's it.
I'm gonna go eat enchiladas.
Let's go eat.
Cool. Have a good one, everybody. We'll be back next week. Peace.